The Strait of Hormuz is just 21 miles wide, yet it controls the flow of nearly 20% of the world's oil, around 20 million barrels every single day, and a massive share of global energy. Trillions of dollars in annual trade pass through this narrow waterway, linking the Persian Gulf to the rest of the planet. It seems like a simple stretch of water, but its impact is colossal. One wrong move here, a blockade, a missile strike, or a political escalation, and the effects ripple instantly across energy markets, economies, stock exchanges, and even the food you put on your table. Now, amid the ongoing 2026 Iran conflict and the effective closure of the strait, Saudi Arabia has quietly activated a long-planned contingency to bypass this fragile artery. A strategic move so vital it could reshape global power dynamics, yet the full story remains rarely discussed in mainstream media. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil exporter, has feared an Iranian blockade for decades. Iran has repeatedly threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz during past conflicts, from the 1980s. Tanker war to recent tensions and even temporary disruptions have sent oil prices skyrocketing by 20 to 50% overnight. The stakes could not be higher. This contingency relies on the legendary East-West pipeline, also known as Petrolini, a 1,200-kilometer, 750-mile engineering marvel built back in 1981 during the Iran-Iraq war as a direct insurance policy against exactly this scenario. What started as a single 48-inch line, carrying just 1.85 million barrels per day, was massively upgraded over decades. A second 56-inch line added in the 1990s, followed by further expansions after the 2019 Abqaiq drone attacks, when parallel natural gas liquids lines were converted to crude carriers. Today, its total design capacity stands at 7 million barrels per day, 5 million for export and 2 million for domestic refineries. Aramco CEO Emi Nasser confirmed in the March 2026 earnings call that the pipeline, which was flowing only about 2.8 million barrels per day before the crisis, is now being pushed to its absolute limit. In the next couple of days, the pipeline will reach full capacity, he stated, and by March 11th, it had officially hit that 7 million barrel mark. The system reroutes crude from the giant Abqaiq processing complex in the eastern province straight across the desert to the Red Sea port of Yanbu, completely avoiding Hormuz. This activation has already helped Saudi Arabia maintain roughly 70% of its normal export levels despite the blockade. But here's the hidden reality few are talking about. The pipeline itself can move 7 million barrels. Yet the real bottleneck is at Yanbu's two terminals. Their combined loading capacity is only around 4 to 4.5 million barrels per day, a limit that has never been fully stress-tested at this scale. But the implications stretch far beyond barrels and pipelines. The Strait of Hormuz has always been the ultimate pressure point, a single chokehold controlling the energy lifeline of the entire world. Any prolonged disruption sends gasoline, diesel, natural gas, and especially fertilizer prices soaring. Remember, much of the world's urea and phosphate fertilizers are linked to Gulf natural gas supplies. Millions of families across Asia, which receives 80% of Hormuz oil, Africa, and even Europe could feel the pinch within days. Farmers in India, Pakistan, and China could face reduced crop yields by 10 to 15% in coming seasons, while industrial production, shipping costs, and transportation expenses spike globally. What was once a distant geopolitical risk has now become a very real human crisis affecting daily life for billions. What makes this activation even more intriguing is how quietly and efficiently it unfolded. Details have surfaced mainly through Aramco's official statements, satellite imagery showing increased activity at Yanbu, and analyst reports. Before the crisis, this pipeline was operating far below capacity, almost like a sleeping giant. Now, with tankers repositioned to the Red Sea and Yanbu, seeing a 330% surge in loadings in just the first weeks of March 2026, the shift is undeniable. This bypass isn't merely about energy logistics. It's a calculated move to dramatically reduce Iran's leverage over global oil markets. For the first time in decades, Tehran's threat to close the strait has lost some of its bite. Yet at the same time, any miscalculation in this high-tension environment, including new risks from Houthi attacks on Red Sea shipping, could escalate the conflict into something far larger, affecting trade routes, regional security, and the lives of millions worldwide. For ordinary people like you and me, the stakes are deeply personal. Rising oil prices translate directly into higher electricity bills, costlier heating in winter, more expensive public transport, and inflated prices for almost every basic item in your local market. Fertilizer shortages don't just hit distant farms. They mean higher food prices in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and beyond, potentially pushing millions already living on the edge into hunger and financial instability. The reality is stark and unforgiving. One strategic decision in a narrow, 21-mile strait, or its desert bypass, can reverberate across continents, reshaping entire economies and livelihoods in ways most of us never stop to imagine. So the question remains, is this full activation of the East-West Petroline a true shield against chaos? Or merely a temporary fix in a much larger and unpredictable storm? Will it help stabilize energy supplies and give Saudi Arabia and the world breathing room during this crisis? Or could the ongoing tensions and new Red Sea risks spark unforeseen consequences with truly global impact? One thing is certain, the world is watching closely and the stakes could not be higher. If you want the complete breakdown of how this bypass actually works in real time, the exact limits of Yanbu port, the hidden risks no one is highlighting, and what all of this truly means for global energy security, food prices, and your own wallet, stick around till the very end. This is the kind of story you won't hear anywhere else. Hit like if these hidden truths opened your eyes today. Subscribe to the Forbidden Truths for more exclusive investigations into the stories governments and media don't want you to know. And turn on the notification bell right now so you never miss the next Forbidden's revelation. Let's keep uncovering the truth together.